Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review, chapter 1003. Let's see, I believe it is titled I'm Sorry Daddy. And I am very behind that I can no longer access this on Viz, which, granted, there is much fun of Viz translation elsewhere, but I usually like to try and read these reviews on Viz. But unfortunately, I ended up missing it. But yeah, always check out the Viz scanlations, people, just to support the manga, even if they write Zoro as Zolo. But yeah, before we begin this chapter review, let's see, I'm just going to talk about the cover, which is pretty much the Straw Hats with Yamato and Dragon Momonosuke flying the sky, celebrating, which was clearly this cover was to celebrate the new year, or particularly the fact that it's this year's the year of the dragon, which is also why the Jump cover had pretty much all its main characters from Jump at the current publication, all wearing green dragon suits with Luffy at the center. I think the ones close up to him was Midoriya and Dritzy Itadoriya from Jujutsu Kaisen. So yeah, arguably Witty could be regarded as the new big three in Shonen Jump, since Black Clover moved to Jump Giga. So yeah, it's a nice cover, and some will comment that all the proper Straw Hats are here, since Yamato wanted to join, and I guess you could say Momonosuke is technically a Straw Hat. There's quite a few side characters that you could consider honorary Straw Hats at this point. Whether or not we'll get any new members, who knows? But yeah, it's all fun seeing the characters. I like how Jinbei's on the top of Momonosuke's head. Nami and Robin are sitting next together. Chopper's next to Luffy. So celebrating with Usopp and Brock. Sanji cooking, and let's see Frankie eating what Sanji is cooking, which I think is shish kebab. But anyway, onto the actual chapter. It sort of begins with Vegapunk asking Bonnie if she saw everything, with him realizing that he's broken his promise to Kuma, and I think maybe apologizing or maybe cursing his own thing, but Bonnie turning back to her true form of a kid, hugs Vegapunk, saying that she's sorry for what she tried to do and all that. But and then it cuts to like her be receiving what was Kuma's 10th birthday present for her, that he left to Vegapunk to give to her, which she gets excited about, which is a sapphire necklace shaped like the sun, obviously a reference to her disease, but also the sun because of the symbol of freedom. And Vegapunk tells her that it's a good luck charm, and let's see, as he talks about Vegapunk starts talking about Luffy and how much he's progressed in 2 years, with Barney commenting about how Luffy's a friend, is the son of her father's friend, which Vegapunk's confirmed, but it's like saying it's a bit how strange fate is the two of them came aboard. And anyway, he then tells them that tries to tell her a lot of things have happened since she went inside to see Kuma's memories, and just told them that Luffy and his crew just saved him just a few minutes ago, and this is arguably happening in the conversation after the Straw Hats have captured York and the Seraphim. So yeah. And he's then telling her that you'll tell her everything and all that stuff, and end up apologizing once everything's calmed down about the situation, and ends up apologizing to her since since he ended up being just like a hired scientist that screw it, he did what he did to her father, but she ends up revealing she doesn't blame him at all, instead blames the Ritzy 5 elders, particularly Saturn, as we cut to the present time and we could just see her staring angrily at Saturn as we're back to the present, as Marines are ready to shoot her. As Saint Saturn ends up revealing to her, telling her that her father's dead. Sanji, Frankie, and Vegapunk are still struggling to move. Luffy's all ritzy, skinny, and starved, asking for someone to give him food. And Ritzy demanding meet with Atlas, saying that she wants to but can't. And Sentomaru has been captured into reports and as he's tied up. And Kizaru is just thinking about Sentomaru and Bonnie. And we then get like let's see, Marines outside on the ships asking what the situation, but they were receiving reports that anyone below Commodore cannot go there. And then we cut to montages of people talking about how Luffy is holding Vegapunk's hostage. Some hoping that no one dies. Others hoping that comparing it to the Siege of Ohara and hoping that Vegapunk's going to be all right, showing the sort of popularity Vegapunk has, from earlier that Morgan's talked about. And then we see back to a Newcomer Kingdom, where Newcomer Kingdom, where Dragon is walking and talking with Ivankov, with guessing that based on Kuma's instincts where he might go. With Ivankov saying he'd charged the Mirage off without a second thought, but thinks that Kuma's different and that he will go somewhere else. And I have a feeling that both of them are guessing where Kuma's gone now. But anyway, there's the Marines. Let's see. Prepare to shoot Bonnie. Saturn decides. Bonnie says that she's going to die. She's going to at least try and take down Saturn with her. And uses the sort of distorted future move, doing another Nika form, with Saturn commenting that, so she knows about Nika, with her trying to attack him, but it has no effect. And Bonnie comments that it's gone weaker herself. Which this leads to Saturn to comment, of course, that Bonnie is Kuma's daughter, all right, since she must know that name, but comments that you don't know what Nika is, and Etsy thinks to himself that she hasn't made the connections to Luffy's awakened form, being that of the sun god itself. But anyway, then he starts noticing that Luffy's being fed food, and then demands who is doing this and asks someone to put sea stone cuffs on him. As Marines try to seize him, as Kizaru seems to be now sitting back and just seems to be looking on, implying that he might have been the one to feed food to Luffy. I'll get to that in a bit. Let's see, and with Bonnie trying to use her de-aging powers on Saint Saturn, but for some reason it can't work. And Saint Saturn reveals that he is the one that gave Bonnie her devil fruit powers, saying that he did an experiment on an infant to have them getting the powers without actually eating the devil fruits, so sort of extract the power into her, if you will. But with Bonnie realizing this thing, but he comments that it was a successful thing, but declared that the power was useless or worthless, so he didn't really need it, or didn't really see it much of a threat. But he then comments and reveals that the power may transform into any future, but the one more knows about reality, the more narrow-minded their view is, and they can no longer see those possible futures. So, in a sense, the younger you are and the more imagination you have, the better. With him going on about how she wants to believe in Nika, but at the moment, with her Bonnie declaring that Nika is real, since her father became a cyborg and obeys him, she's been searching for Nika, hoping that he'll be able to free her father. And Saturn comes to comment that as a result that her current doubts, she's starting to have doubts about it. As he mocks her, saying that her father believed in some sort of idiotic legend about the Buccaneers. And talks about the time when Kuma said, "I want to save people just like Nika." And then reveals that he eventually was the one that actually performed the chemical experiments on her mother, and who was apparently the eighth wife of a fellow in the Holy Land. So Ginny was someone's eighth wife, and talks about how it was a failure that those blue blemishes showed up on her, revealing that it wasn't the desired result. He found it quite curious that the same effect was passed down to her daughter, revealing, of course, he was the one that did those experiments that caused Ginny to get the disease, which then was then inherited with Bonnie. And then we see something. Then we see something crash on the island, which confuses the Marines. Bonnie starts to cry as she realized that Saturn did all that. Vegapunk is outraged. He did all those experiments which tore Kuma's family apart, and about how he gave his life to just stop that disease. And then how he ended up just forcing Kuma to do a deal because he's the one that caused him all that suffering, so he's angry about that. With Saint Saturn going like, you should put yourself in my shoes. Let's see, why would I bother with the feelings of insects, in which he regards Ginny and Bonnie, and saying that it's impossible to feel that way as Bonnie starts to cry more. The Marines realize that it's thinks at first it's a pacifista before realizing that it's Kuma due to the pads. As one of the Marines tries to announce that Kuma has arrived and is heading to the center of the island, and none of the A40 chips are working on him. With Saturn commenting that Kuma shouldn't possibly be here, as it seems like Saturn does not seem to believe it. With Bonnie thinking that she's just too afraid and can't move. With Vegapunk shocked about why Kuma's here, as Marines are all trying to stop him. With Bonnie thinking about how she can't speak, asking her dad about how her spirit's breaking down, as we see Marines shooting and fire, even some of them hitting his face and back. But Kuma keeps going on, determined and angry, with Bonnie thinking about how it might just be easier if she dies, apologizing as you see Vegapunk and Sanji look on in despair as Kuma's running. With Saturn says that enough of the squalling, calling her Bonnie an obnoxious brat, crashing her, telling the Marines to shoot her through the head. I think there's the mistranslation of saying shoot him through the head, which I think it meant to be Bonnie, but it could be, of course, now they're referring to Kuma, granted, we see Marines preparing to fire, and Kuma, with a lock-on thing, blasts the Marines around. With Saturn now just trying to throw Bonnie to the ground, really trying to stab him with one of his spider legs. And Bonnie apologizing to her dad after everything he did for her. She's about to die, but Kuma just comes and grabs her and protects Bonnie in a similar manner Ace protected Luffy from Akainu when he died, with Bonnie crying out her father's name as Kuma's just staring at her. As someone announced, it's Buffalo and Kuma, as then Kuma grabs the leg that Saturn used to stab him, turns around with a hockey-induced fist as Bonnie reverts to a child form crying, as you see Kuma angry, preparing to do hopefully do one of the most satisfying punches on Saturn as he looks on shock, ending the chapter. Okay, overall, what are my thoughts? I do like how Bonnie, we finally got to the fact we got to when Bonnie is talking to Vegapunk and apologizing for everything that go down. So we learned that as soon as Vegapunk was freed, he immediately went to go check on Bonnie to see if she learned all that memories and all that stuff. I'm glad that Bonnie, after seeing all those memories, apologizes to Vegapunk and realized that he wasn't, even though he was the one that erased Kuma's memories, she realizes that he was forced from the matter. He didn't get a say, and that probably he tried his best to try and prevent it as much as possible. But Vegapunk, of course, apologizes as well. I do like that. The thing that Vegapunk mentioned that he wanted to give to Bonnie was actually Kuma's last birthday gift, let's see, which is a sapphire jewel with the sun, and I think it's very symbolic and fitting with like Bonnie's disease and the symbol of the sun, which represents freedom. I do like that, and I do like this is the guess. I know some people are trying to make some theories about what it might represent, maybe something that lures Kuma there or not. Personally, I think it's just a father giving a daughter giving the daughter a jewel for a birthday gift. I don't think it has any more significance and sentimental value, but I could be wrong. Who knows? But at the moment, I'm not really thinking it's going to be that. But I do like how Bonnie is starting to realize that Luffy is Kuma's is the son of Kuma's friend and comrade in the revolutionary armies. I'm not sure how she feels about the revolutionary armies at this point after seeing all those memories, but at the very least, I think she seems to still realize that Kuma considers dragging a comrade, regardless of what might have happened to Ginny and all that. So her mother. So I do like that, but I do like how Vegapunk says that this seems like a twist of fate, which might as well be, because it seems like this incident is about to cause events that will lead to the dawn of the world. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I do like how Bonnie seems to at least acknowledge that Luffy, like I said, their fathers are comrades in arms, and that might just mean that she might end up becoming comrades in arms with Luffy. Whether or not means an ally of the Straw Hats or a member of the crew is yet to be seen. Though I think some people are hoping for crew, some are just hoping just for another ally, as they rather have someone else to become a Straw Hat. But who knows? But yeah, but I do like it that Bonnie, as we cut to the present time, it's like going like it's Saturn's fault. She completely blames Saturn for what happens and is determined to kill him, even if she isn't able to herself and all that. So even if she can't die, even if she can't do it herself, but yeah. I do also like seeing that we finally got some of the citizens reacting to the fact that the Straw Hats, about the siege of Egghead or the Egghead incident, and that Vegapunk's life is in trouble, because we've got it. In many ways, it reminds me about how people talked and commented about the upcoming Whitebeard War, but here they're talking about Vegapunk. Now, I wonder if this means Vegapunk's going to make it out alive or not, but who knows? But at the very least, I do like that people are talking about it, because Morgan's talked about how popular Vegapunk is, and then we're actually now starting to see it. So there's that. I'm very curious about the news of what comes afterwards. I am curious to see if Ivankov and Dragon are starting to make their move. I doubt they'll be able to get an Egghead on time, but it seems that after Kuma is escaping, they're planning something, and they probably realize what Kuma is about to do. It was arriving at Egghead, but we'll have to wait and see in that regard. But I do like how they're assessing the situation. Let's see. I do like how we see Luffy completely helpless and all that, starving, but then he ends up getting food and all that stuff, which leads to quite a few theories, which given how Kizaru is reacting to Sentomaru being captured and Bonnie, some are suspecting that he slipped some food for Luffy to eat so he can go and save them. Indirectly helping them by giving Luffy food. And which leads to many people guessing whether or not, at least with this chapter, if Kizaru is slowly starting to betray the world government. I mean, people with the last couple of with the upcoming chapters, I'm not going to spoil what happens there, but people have been guessing whether or not Kizaru is switching sides, or at the very least indirectly helping the Straw Hats, or not giving their all in this mission. But yeah. But anyway, we end up, I do like how we get an explanation that Bonnie's devil fruit is the fact that there is some drawbacks and weaknesses to devil fruit, because usually there are, if Oda gets enough time to, develop and explain the strengths and weaknesses of the devil fruit, like Crocodile, anything if he gets liquefied, he can get punched, like that. Enel's, lightning powers have no effect on rubber properties, like Luffy's rubber body. Stuff like that. And the fact that Bonnie, since her devil fruit was pretty powerful with the imagination she can have of whatever future, the more her ability, the older she gets, and the more she starts to realize what the world is, she starts just to see less possible futures, and with her doubts of Nika, from what the chapter is implying, she's starting to disbelieve that Nika actually is a being that existed after witnessing all the stuff she's probably seen in her memories, and the fact that she can't find Nika yet, though she has not realized that she's already met Nika. She hasn't seen Nika's form, but at least in Luffy's wanted poster, but she hasn't connected the dots yet, which Saturn is clearly taking advantage of because he does not want her to connect the dots because that will make her strong again, but also because he also wants to break her and torment her a bit. So, yeah. But Saturn is really showing himself to be one of the most scummiest villains in the series so far, and maybe one of the evilest. In fact, probably one of the cruelest world nobles that we've seen. Maybe not as the arrogance of like Charlos and his family, but just all the more cruel when it's revealed that he's the one that had the devil fruit ingested into Bonnie, though not with her eating it when she was a baby, which gives us an explanation on that, which left many people confused how she could do it in the flashback. So I'm glad Oda addressed that. But also the fact that he's the one that experimented on, Ginny, which many people are starting to wonder if he was the one that took Ginny for a wife, but it seems that was not the case, but is the one that caused the extremity disease to have her die. So if I think, and from the dialogue is written, I'm not sure if it's the correct translations, I'm not sure, sometimes Viz gets it wrong, is that Ginny was the 8th wife of a noble. I'm not sure, it's not identified the noble, but at the very least it doesn't seem to be Saturn, so which if it was, I think that'd be pure hatred for Saturn, though granted, all these experiments that he's done on like Bonnie's family, it's probably earned him enough hatred from like the One Piece fans for causing all that suffering to Kuma. So yeah. But Oda really does a very good job at making you want to dislike a villain and seeing them punched. And honestly, I've never had. Let's see. Probably this is the villain I want to see punched the most since Charles, I guess. Though granted, I also really want to see Luffy punch Caesar, Doflamingo, and maybe Big Mom, Orochi, I guess. Kaido maybe, but Orochi more really. And let's see. Well, yeah, mainly Charlos, but yeah, it's like this has got to be. And it's really hoping for the satisfying punch to fall through with Kuma, but yeah. But I do like how Kuma's arrived. Marines are confused and trying to shoot him, but Kuma's just determined just to go there and help Bonnie. And I do like how Saturn cannot seem to fathom that Kuma is here because of something he's implying that he probably did. And even Vegapunk seems shocked. But I do like how Vegapunk is outraged with what Saturn did. I do like how just Bonnie is just also breaking down, and it's like because of everything that she's learned and known about what happened to her mother, her father, she's wondering if she just seems like she's lost the will to live a bit, and apologizes to her father because of everything that he did to sacrifice to save her. She's now ended up going to die anyway, which makes it all the more perfect with the way Kuma charges in, ready to block with like the way and protect her in a similar manner to Ace did with Luffy. So that was like, finally here. Granted, I expected more of a bit of a shockwave and then Kuma doing a bunch of punches, but I think this is pretty good with the way Kuma just cuddling Bonnie and then just removing the spider leg and then ready to give Ritzy the most angriest we've probably seen Kuma ever, even though he's lost all his emotions, ready to punch Saturn, which will hopefully be one of the most satisfying punches, if not the most satisfying punch we've seen in the series. Maybe even more so than Luffy punching Sharlos. We just have to wait and see next chapter. The only downside is in this one is the fact that it didn't happen in this chapter, and we have to wait another one, which I wasn't sure if that was going to be like a, let's see, since this was like technically the new year. This chapter came out before the new year. Technically, we had to wait a lot longer for this one to officially come out, and then for the next chapter to come out. So yeah. Overall, this is a very 9 out of 10 chapter. It is very good. Let's see, I like how you see Barney. We learn more about Barney's devil fruit, its weaknesses, how she got that devil fruit. The fact we learn that Saturn's behind everything. Kuma's gift to Barney via Vegapunk. Her apologizing. Possibly Kizaru helping Luffy with food and all that. Oh yeah, I'll probably say that Sentomaru is going to end up being arrested to the Marines. And if Kizaru is knocked out or gets back up, I think we're going to get Sentomaru asking, did you help Straw Hat by giving him food? But who knows? But yeah. Let's see. Everyone is still unable to move. Kuma arrives, saves Bonnie just when she's feeling her worst despair, and then preparing to give Saturn the punching he deserves for his life. So yeah, overall, very good chapter. Builds on the hype of like just how evil San is, and arguably the rest of the Five Elders, and arguably Imu himself. So yeah, very good chapter. Looking forward to seeing Ritzy commenting my thoughts of when we see where if Kuma's able to punch Saturn or not. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Thank you for listening for what I had to say. I hope the people enjoyed what I had to say. I've been rather quick with this review compared to others, but I'm just trying to do this quickly, but and hopefully I'll be able to catch up on the other reviews for One Piece in the following few days since it's on a break. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off.